welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and today I've got a book haul for you. These books are actually from quite a while ago and I wasn't going to do a haul of them, but then I watched a couple of haul videos by other booktubers and I just really enjoyed them. Somehow it's just relaxing and pleasant to hear people talk about books even if it's not in a recommending kind of. So that's what I'm going to do. As per usual, I got all these books for $1 or less at a library store, so when a library feels like they've used up their books or for some reason don't want them in circulation anymore, they'll sell them for cheap to raise a bit of money and offload a bunch of books. And that's how I come to own most of the books that I have, and I totally recommend if you're a book person to go check out your local library's sales. Though these ones didn't actually come from my local library, they came from the Spokane Public Library, which is a city that my family likes to go to a lot, and every time we're there we stop into the library store. So let's start with the two I think are the prettiest and I was most excited to find. These are lovely little editions of a couple of the Chronicles of Narnia. As you can see, they've got this foiling stuff on them that's very shiny, plus just really gorgeous art. It's just lovely. And this one has such pretty colors. It's almost, is it rose gold or is it copper? It's something like that. I think it's rose gold, which I like even better than copper, but I like copper too. And also, the only editions of the Chronicles of Narnia that my family owns at the moment are big hardbacks. So, and these are like little things you can stick in your purse. So I really love these, both for looking at and for actually reading. They're very handy. And they were 50 cents each. And this one, Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I've heard about this one a fair amount on Bookstagram and Twitter. I don't know if I've heard that much of it on BookTube, but I've heard a lot of good things, and it was on the clearance special, which is even less than usual, so it was 3 for $1, so I got this for one of my 3. This, I think, was the highest price that comes at these library sales, which it was $1, and it is a graphic novel. And I just really enjoy graphic novels, especially big meaty ones like this. It's more of a bother when they're the really small ones, because then you have to have several to have any kind of, to really get into it and have any kind of time in the story and with the characters, but this is a nice meaty one. Gunner Craig Court Research by Thomas Siddall. I noticed when I started reading it, which this is, I think, the only one. Yeah, I think this is the only one that I've actually started reading from this haul, and obviously it's easier to get into than a lot of books because it's a graphic novel, you can read it pretty fast. So I actually started reading this one, and it was really interesting. I really like the concepts. One thing that was clear from the beginning is that it is not the first of a series, it's in the middle of a series, so I'm a little confused as to what the heck's going on, but the fact that I found it entertaining and was able to connect the characters despite it not being the first in the series indicates to me it's a really good series that I should really get the first one of. Then we have a cover by The Book of Life by Deborah Harkness, who is apparently the author of Discovery of Witches and Shadow of Night, which I have definitely heard of Discovery of Witches in a positive way. So this one is very Bookstagram friendly. But here's the back cover synopsis. What did the witches once discover? Why was the secret encoded in a mysterious book called Ashmole 782, and then chased through the centuries by demons, vampires, and the witches themselves? How can spellbound witch Diana Bishop and vampire scientist Matthew Claremont fulfill their love and their mission on contested ground and with the weight of their very different histories pulling them apart? Diana and Matthew time travel back from Elizabeth and London to make a dramatic return to the present, facing new crises and old enemies. At Matthew's ancestral home, Septours, they reunite with a beloved cast of characters from Discovery of Witches, with one significant exception. So it's a book later on in the series after A Discovery of Witches. But yeah, basically a cover by. Then this one, The Home for Unwanted Girls by Joanna Goodman. I think I had heard a little bit about, but I've heard significantly more about it after I bought it. But I grabbed this one because it was another of the ones in the clearance, so it was going to be 3 for $1, so I needed to fill up my 3 for $1 deal. And so The Home for Unwanted Girls just sounds like it's going to be very female-centric and possibly about, almost definitely about marginalized and down on their luck little girls, and so I'm interested in that kind of thing. And since I have heard from the other Christine that reads, who I'll link below, that she really liked it. I think it was one of her top books for this year that she's read. So high recommendation from her, and she's pretty cynical and critical, so when she likes something it's usually pretty good. Then we have these two, A City of Ashes and City of Bones, of the Mortal Instruments series, which I've heard a lot about. The Mortal Instruments on its own I heard about even before I think I got on BookTube and Bookstagram, but then once I was on Bookstagram I saw pictures of these books and the other series, the others in the series, quite a lot. And they seem to be either loved or hated. There don't seem to be a lot of people who are like neutral towards them. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on them if you've read them. I intend to read them at some point, but they're not very high on my TBR, just because I'm really not sure whether I like them or not. And I'm also kind of worried that I will like the characters and then they'll die, because I don't know what kind of author this is and if she's one who kills characters a lot. So I should really research that before I start reading them. Oh. I didn't even notice this before, but oh, it's got a recommendation from Stephanie Meyer. She says, the Mortal Instruments series is a story world that I would love to live in. Beautiful. Goody. Okay, we're down to two more. This one, by the sticker, I know this is one of the 3 for $1 ones. And basically, if I see a cheapo Nora Roberts book of any kind, I will buy it because she's a magnificent author. My mom owns most of her books, but occasionally she'll only have one on Kindle or she'll only have a hardback or something. So a paperback of Nora Roberts is always a buy for me if it's like cheapo like this. In case you're unaware, she writes the In Death series under the pen name J.D. Robb, and that is a series that I have talked about a lot on this channel. But I've also read a few of her romances, and while I don't like her standalone or trilogy romances as well, basically because you don't have nearly as much time with the characters because there's only 3 books as opposed to 47, I still like them quite a lot. I highly recommend her various stories set in Ireland, by the way. Those are my favorites. I like Ireland, and clearly so does she. By the way, I don't know if you can hear, but my cat is purring rather loudly right here in this area. Yeah. She likes to hang out on my bed, so she's here a lot when I'm filming. Now this is The Harsh Cry of the Heron by Leanne Hearn, and the subtitle, or whatever the heck this is, says The Last Tale of the Oteri, and this was another cover by. I'm super interested in East Asian history and art, and so I had to have this. So I'm very excited for this. I do kind of want to wait until I'm in the right mood though, because it's sort of an epic sort of a tale, and you kind of have to, like, I don't know. Tell me if you feel the same way. Like, you have to have a good chunk of time and the right mindset to go into an epic tale as opposed to sort of fluffier reading like this. So that is my book haul. So I got about 10 books for $7 to $8, which is my kind of way to collect books. I am also thinking of doing an unhaul sometime soon, because via this method and by accidentally buying duplicates once, I've accumulated a few books that I don't intend to reread. They could find a better home elsewhere. Since I do so much of my book buying in the bargain area, I would like to pay it forward, and I think when I do get rid of these books, I'll be donating them to a library for them to put into their sales. One nice thing is that one of them at least is a book I actually like, so someone will be getting a bargain book that in my opinion is actually good and really wonderful. Actually, I duplicate bought the second in the Fairyland series because I bought them through Amazon, and it was a third-party seller, so they said that they weren't going to be able to get it to me, and then eventually they did anyway. But in the interim I bought another one because I wanted it, so now I just have 2. So if you are interested in the second of the Fairyland series by Catherine M. Valente, titled The Girl Who Fell Beneath Fairyland and Led the Rebels There, let me know, because I would love to send it to a home that I know would appreciate it. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye!